in the Dark World. This is kind of fun with Key Sanity because that means you're pretty much looking for all.
Yeah, Key Sanity, pretty interesting mode. Already heading off here. And both going to the uncle. Very good play.
Yeah, especially knowing that you're going to get your first sword there. Also, still picking up that first small key. Nice to find. Just need that hammer, and we'll be able to open up the big chest in Thieves.
Yeah, even if it wasn't Uncle Assured, just the fact that you can get a little bit of magic, you can get your quick guns here, and you get a chance to the pull. Just very strong opener, very kind of well-rounded, safe opener. Ooh, and a very nice 4 bomb drop. Get those. It looks like Elmin's gonna continue on into Harrow Castle here.
All right, just a piece of heart there in the sanctuary.
Yeah, 1/4 the normal deal, but that's okay. Every little bit counts, especially early on. Yeah, I know some people kind of follow the philosophy that if you got a sword at Uncle, that you might go straight to Harrow Castle. Now, it's Uncle Assured, so you could premeditate that a little bit more strongly. But we'll see how it works out here.
All right. Starting out early with those Ganon Tower keys. We will be...
Unfortunately.
Yeah, we will be expecting to see one of our hint tiles with a hint about where that Ganon Tower big key is. I believe with the Key Sanity mode, it's guaranteed to have one hint that mentions where the key to Evil's Bane is, so that we may not be on a super long hunt throughout the world to find that Ganon Tower big key.
Yeah, back when Key Sanity came out, it's pretty outspoken on my feelings regarding Key Sanity as the mode. I both loved it and didn't like it, particularly because of how the end game could transpire. But knowing where that big key is, 50/50s or various dice rolls, and so yeah, just not a wild goose chase really. Oh, okay, so lost for reasons, and yeah, the boots. Wow, that is a lovely item to find. Yeah. Definitely one of my favorite items. You know, obviously it can make you go quicker, but just the utility that you get from the boots alone is very strong.
Yeah, and that works with Phylion's file name, go, go, go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so of course now he'll get a little bit of ground should he go into Harrow Castle pretty soon on Elm here, but imagine Elm will not be too far behind. But yeah, boots let you go 4 pixels a frame as opposed to your normal movement cycle, which oscillates, but works out to 1.5 pixels a frame. So you do get quite a lot of speed, but really you have to also make sure that you use it efficiently. Otherwise, you'll not get as much speed as you might think.
Yep. So far, we've found the big key to Tower of Hera in the Zelda escape sequence, as well as the big key to Palace of Darkness at Bonk Rock. So picking up quite a few keys so far through the Key Sanity. 5 chests in Blind's Hut. More keys. 2 pod. Okay.
Ooh, pod and a mirror. Mirror is really good. Hammer.
What?
Pod welcome package.
Oh yeah.
And a quesadilla platter to celebrate after. That was lovely.
That was a pretty high Blind's Hut there. Pretty crazy to see bombos, which may be required for any of our medallion, like a pendant medallion dungeons or ice.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, Lucy's
bow
gonna be able to see
in the well.
This is pretty stacked.
Wow. That is pretty much crazy. And
Yeah, so this will be either really quick or really slow because it's random. But of course, people already. It's fylion and Jameson's Star Wars Happy Dance to summon. What more could you summon, you greedy? No, but just. I know it's kind of cute. Not sure what's up with that, but we'll let it rock. Wouldn't hurt to get one more item here. Maybe the lantern. Just just make Eastern all the more appealing, maybe.
Definitely fylion there, making sure to stop at the bottle vendor. Both Elminster and fylion having forgotten the bottle vendor in races past this tournament. Don't think we'll see either of them forgetting that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess general rule of thumb, you want to have nice power glove.
Yeah.
Where's their pearl? Finally tried to do the summon pearl dance, but maybe race game? Library?
Yeah, well, boots could be right here. Oh, single arrow.
If that was a cross-product, seed boots would definitely have been there. Good knowledge. Got the boots, they can bonk those balls. But yeah, the thing with boots too is that typically the stronger runners of the speedrun will make better use of them, just because they know the game mechanics a little bit better. But both these players, you know, obviously longtime players familiar with the speedrun, so it's fun to see that they both have it so early on, and just the tools and utility that they get here. It creates a lot of expression in their gameplay, which is really interesting to watch.
Yeah, with so many items so early, it's definitely, we'll probably see quite a bit of divergence.
And just also cognizant awareness, like the fact that fylion did switch to the mirror there, just aware that yes, I do in fact have the mirror, so making use of it there. But I guess just a little quick thing in movement, because when you move diagonal, you go 1 pixel in either direction for a net gain of 2. You want to maximize your boot movement by moving cardinally most of the time. So you don't want to like get into position by moving diagonal. You're going to be losing efficiency on the 4 pixel per frame, as opposed to the 2 pixel that you're going for. Because it'd be better to do the 1.5 in the one direction to line out your coordinate.
Yeah.
That's a very good bomb throw. Yeah, there's a bit of a science to those throws. Molderns are RNG, but more often than not, you can get them fairly simply in the book.
What?
Pearl? No.
Pearl?
Fake.
Wow, okay.
Arcade for the pearl, don't worry. No, but actually, the thing came out for a second. Look at the ends here. Yeah, we're just gated by a couple of things, but you can go to Death Mountain. Need the lantern to logically have Eastern play. No flippers, but I mean, yeah, I got so much momentum early. And even the 50-50 bomb drop, why not? Go for it, fylion. It's your day. Go, go, go.
And I don't suspect that we will see a map check very early. With Key Sanity, you don't know what dungeons are what without having picked up the map of that dungeon first. Additionally, since it's all dungeons, they're going to be doing every dungeon anyways. So a lot of players I've noticed with all dungeons won't do a map check, even if it's not Key Sanity. So
yeah, it really only kind of be like that green pennant and the 2 crystals. The 2 crystals are a little bit more of an out there at the moment, but green pennant can be decent info. Oh, hookshot's decent info too.
Yeah.
I just want to point out that this very nice Japanese 1.0 exclusive glitch by Elminster, doing the spin speed there just to get a little bit further. There's our last.
There it is. Small key to High Roll Castle, I believe, at the waterfall ferry as well.
I will believe you.
Yes, it is a small
The
key. So that
ooh, there's our Axis Pearl on Pyramid.
Yeah.
No, I still have a lot of locations, but but if we find those slippers. Oh, okay, it's completing the pod welcome package. Just
Yes.
oh, get a nice little hammer amp, save a key, mirror, find another key in the dungeon, complete it. Something like that. Finally, I'll get his lantern here. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the mill. Doesn't look like he went to South Shore, so it doesn't have the flute, but doesn't matter logically.
And fylion, having picked up that small key to Hyrule Castle, he's gonna go check the Dark Cross room here in the sewers. Having picked up that lantern definitely makes it a nicer check, just so you don't have to try to traverse backwards through a bunch of the dark rooms.
That'd be a great band name, Dark Cross Room.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, DCR. Yeah, kind of interesting. With the boots and like obviously doesn't have the flute, but not too big of a hit in terms of obviously just not having it. A little difficulty with spin speed here. That happens pretty frequently. You gotta let go of the button one frame after.
Big key there, and Moon Pearl.
Yeah, he probably wants to pair on like a Height Cave with South Shore, something like that. But
yeah,
we'll definitely take that pearl.
Yep, that will get Elminster his Dark World access, having picked up hammer and gloves in Kakarot. I'm assuming that with the flute being activated by fylion, he'll probably be heading up to Dead Mountain shortly as well.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, he's playing the song over people. Oh, no.
Oh no!
That's why you learned to hover. That bomb jump. Oh man, that's a fun bomb jump. That one I recommend to absolutely everyone. It's actually one of the more simple bomb jumps in the game, even though it might look more daunting. But it's just simply because you clip into the wall, so the tolerance in which you have to land it up is fairly lenient. But I mean, just like anything in the game, you can do something right 100 times or call it free or whichever, and then you know, like it's the nature of the game. It'll happen to anyone. So we'll take a little fall there, but especially in tournament settings, they might be shaking their nerves. I doubt assume that, but
yeah, finally I'm making the play over to Desert. Boots in hand, no small key. Still not going to be able to do more than just a couple checks here, but then we've got Agina as well as the Desert Lead.
That's pretty interesting. I came here. Oh, I'm slashing. You can, if you have boots, you can bonk over that wall there, and you could get across the pit monster there. There's also a little bit of a speed check you can do from NMG, but only loses a little bit of time. And in Rando, it's not nearly as stringent as speedrun, but just little bits of tech. And, it's caught me off guard. I was late. So you want the 5 rupees? But no, the hint tiles are absolutely a thing. Book and flute were in South Shore, Lake Hypelia or Mini Muldurm cave.
Well, that could have been a really great small key if it was the small key to Desert Palace.
Indeed.
Not today.
And ElminsterRTA. Very fun dungeon. Also very chaotic. But 2 items here.
Oh, cash and a unique item on the left side of Mizuruma. Nice bomb jump.
Yeah, the bomb jumps are a really fun and interesting part of the game. There's so many different ones of varying difficulties and setups. It's, I don't know, kind of just fun to see how players approach them, and always a great thrill to see them pull it off successfully. And yeah, put the hammer to good use. Will not enrage Moldorm. And 1, 2, 3, and Hera down.
Very quickly done. Nice job. Oh, green pendant.
That is very nice. Yeah, getting the maps will start to unlock the dungeon reward, but that green pendant, yeah, not going to Eastern too early, will definitely pay off here. But with the pearl,
yeah,
about trying to pair everything past darkness. This is just played out very nicely so far. Oh my goodness, be careful. The blue mail will help though, and the guaranteed fairy here. I'm very glad they changed the decision to not have that randomized anymore. It's always nice to know the locations like that. Fylion gingerly approaching the ledge.
Yeah, I think he was trying to stay as close to the ledge as possible, but also still see the item on top of Spectacle Rock, just to know if going there would be required after checking Spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that looks good. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that jump is pretty interesting. It's just it's weird because it's the kind of jump where maybe there's a slightly different pixel that you can be on, but if you're too close to the edge, it actually won't work. But you might have been closer into the wall, which would have facilitated for that to happen in tandem with the sword release. But yeah, it's the window for it is kind of deceptive. But well done there. We'll make up a little bit of time.
Yep, and 2 chests so far from Paradox Cave, one of which was a map, and the second, I think it was just some. Oh. I'd like to see that candy cane.
Mm-hmm. Looking like so short for Elm here. We'll go to the Dark World, get the portal, and just do a lot of cleanup. It's be very nice to pair Pike Cave and the minimal. It's gonna go for the good bomb throw. Yeah.
So
then you threw another one. You didn't believe.
Fylion went up to check Tower of Hera, but he hasn't done the Zelda escape sequence yet to get the Tower of Hera big key, so he wasn't able to go through and finish it. But he does find Titan's Mitts in Spike Cave.
That's a pretty good item.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Fine.
That's huge. Wow.
And he's heading straight over to the Mire area.
Yeah. Can get some more divergence.
Turtle Rock Big Key is in Misery Mire. So the hint that we got earlier about a big key and a small key on the left side of Misery Mire, that doesn't necessarily mean it's the Misery Mire big key. That could just be that Turtle Rock key that it's talking about.
Wait, Fylion doesn't have Samaria?
He has not gone over to Paradox Cave yet.
Yeah, and we have, and we have 2 medallions here. Oh man.
but not ether, which is what is required for Misery Mire.
Yeah. So. I missed the ether, but I'm just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. The luck for that.
Yeah, that block is no bueno. Another lovely Espas key. Blueberries, stem kid.
All right, no maps for fylion in the light world, so we do know that Hera is that green pendant, but the others for Eastern and Desert we don't quite know yet.
And Chat kind of pointed out that I just looked at Elm's timer and it seems to be visually excited at the prospect of the seats so far.
Yeah. Or really afraid. Oh, never sure. Alright, so we are about to converge. Well, Elmiring here, making me a liar. I was about to say we're about to both be in Village of Outcast, but Phylion's gonna check Skullwoods.
I thought you called him Elmiring. The say Elmiring.
Elm mirroring.
Oh, Fylion. Yeah, okay. He dropped down into Skullwoods. With the mirror, something that I like to do. It's a little bit different in Kisani, but because you have the mirror, you can enter this screen here first, the big chest, and then you can make your way across to the other two chests, and then you just simply mirror back. In the normal rando, if you don't have a key, you get this chest right here to kind of gamble.
Hopefully get a small key.
But like, with the boots and everything, it's not too bad. He had the pixel lineup, but then dashes just to like make quadruple share. He's turning that into like a 12 pixel tolerant bomb jump. The math might not check out, but oh, I have to be careful in here. If he dies, he just gets to go back to the beginning of the room, but the Gibdos can be annoying. Yeah, this is not, and the statue's too low. He's gonna have to pull it down.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, that room is exceptionally. Oh, spike chopped a bumper on Elm's side. Sorry, pardon me. Yeah, rooms like this are what like another thing that kind of learning the speedrun is really good for, because manipulating the Gibdos is really strong. With unfortunately didn't have a King of Samaria, so won't be able to use the fast strap, but just make it through there. And again, thankfully, just if you die, you're just back at the beginning of the room.
Alright, I'm popping over this wall here, but there's no full magic.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've never gotten that myself, really, so I don't know if it's not guaranteed, but I know there can be some weirdness with that. I forget the mechanic behind it. It's kind of like in Mystery Mire, where when the pots won't have a heart in it.
I see.
I don't entirely remember, but someone I'm sure could explain it better than I could at the moment.
Yeah, chat saying that despawn because of too many sprites since he didn't kill both of the blueberries in the first.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Or like if you have too many sprites, the floor master will not fall.
Yeah.
Something super tiles. Ooh, let's talk about super tiles. No, not right now. Those are fun though. Oh, this game is beautiful. I love this game. You guys love this game too? You better. What are you watching it for?
Ooh, Elm finds our third and final sword in the C-shaped hut. So we have the one on Zora Ledge and this one. We could still find a fourth sword before picking up the one at Zora Ledge, which would then just turn it into some rupees since this is hard logic. So only 3 swords, only blue mail.
Wait, there are 4 sort of locations, but you can only. I know the hard mode difficulty can only get up to temper, but
yep,
there actually seats 4.
Once you find a third sword and you have tempered, then the 4th sword that's somewhere in the game will just turn into, I believe it's a stack of 20 green rupees
Oh, that's cheating. Can't have 4. Where's the sense of finding it?
Right.
What hard mode is this? It's like hard mode light. Are you for real?
Right.
Unbelievable.
All right, fylion about to pick up his Master Sword as well.
Yeah, it's a very good find.
I'm wondering how long Elm will be putting off Spike Cave, where those Titan Smiths are.
Probably a long time. Just there's so many better options to consider that. I mean, it's Titans. He's gonna get locked out sooner than later.
And he's already finished Hera. He's checked Paradox and Spike Cave or Spiral Cave. So until until he gets hookshot with flippers and mirror from Lake Hylia Island, he may not be thinking hookshot cave or how do I get to the dark world there on Death Mountain. And even then, Spike Cave's probably the last place he'd look.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting that he mirrored out there. Oh no, big key. Sorry, I was like, he has small key, but yeah, I guess he wouldn't have the big key. Not very interesting. Yeah, no, Thieves Town. Very, very simple, lazy, quick check to do. So pretty much a bread and butter for most players. No brainer to go here, but yeah. And then with mirror it out quick and just continue as part of your turn. Another blue key. But yeah, just very fortunate that it's Titan's Mitt, so can't even check more on the mountain. And then when you get the Mitt, you're like, woohoo, got my mountain access package, 2 medallions, got my Samarian hammer and TR.
Just need that fire rod for TR.
Nope, you go right in. Don't even need it because you'll find it inside. No problem.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. That's right. Yeah.
Well, even if you don't know, I do. I mean, it depends, but I do like if you're on the mountain, checking the TR without the fire rod. But again, it depends. In this kind of scenario, maybe not, just because you're doing all dungeons anyway.
Yeah. So Elm's finally making the play down here to the mini Moldorm South Shore locations. We'll finally be picking up his flute and his book. I don't think that would having a book and Master Sword lead you back up to like the Ether tablet and then potentially.
Yeah, I was just thinking that because I forgot it was there because I assume fylion checked it.
Yeah, couch cash. Move along.
Okay, yeah. So you could get it. It'll definitely be more incentive, but I mean, oh no, there's still Eastern, still House
Pod, pretty much.
There's a lot, and for tablet and for Spike Cave, when you might have Dark World Mountain, it'll still be a while, but it absolutely may incentivize it more. It would just be very surprising for me to see it a little bit earlier compared to a couple other things first. Yeah, no, I've obviously faith he'll find it in due time.
Yes. There's also the Tower of Hera big key in the escape sequence that fylion hasn't gone to check. Where that green pendant is at Tower of Hera. Once Elm turns that in, we may be able to see if there's anything behind that will be.
Yeah, the eastern portion looking very, very appealing. And yeah, of course, having this Titan's Mitt, fylion can do please extra checks here. Any caution, best color chest. Let's see what has for us today. You can also check out the tablet here. So yeah, nice little clean sweep. Yeah, both players just divergence and having a lot of options. Where are you going to the center of the bush? No, don't need to do that. Just the compass.
Alright, we're gonna see what Stumpy has for us today.
Oh, is
Or not.
Ellen got it earlier. I think it was blueberries. Just
okay.
triple bomb.
Oh, 5/6 crystals at Swamp Palace and Turtle Rock with Pod as the blue pendant.
Best dungeons. All 3 of them.
I agree. There's a lot of items between all 3 of those dungeons.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just with the mirror. 6, 6, and 5. And then green pendant. And then booster.
Ooh.
And then red potion. But who is gonna fit Clipper into ice? Fylion. Fylion, my dude.
Elm's still in the... Did he get the big key? He does have the big key for Desert Palace. So he's gonna go through and finish up with La Moles.
Let's go key dashes here.
Oh, so I missed it in on Elm Stream, but he did get the Ganon Tower big key in the big chest of Desert Palace.
Okay, yeah. It's a very good find. So, no GT trolls.
Unless something that we need
Ooh.
for a pendant dungeon is in GT.
Oh, that is so close. Always fun to see the ice rod. Oh, got one. No, just...
Oh.
Yeah.
Ice rod's a little bit harder to do that with because it's slower, right?
Yeah, it's in a lot of cases, the ice rod and fire rod are homogeneous when it comes to bosses. So like sometimes people are shocked, like, oh, you can like this or Lamola, but just because of the trajectory of the move itself, it comes a little bit slower. So you need to premeditate your shots a little bit more. But yeah, like for all intents and purposes, he did really good there. It was just that final shot, which is fine. Lamola RNG, so just trying out real estate, but that's still all good. And yeah, just always nice to see at least nothing else. The mental awareness shows experience behind the runner. Something you might be able to do too is if you hold the sword out, you can align yourself facing the one direction. But then you charge a sword spin, so you would do the rod shots, and then you could release the spin and get an additional.
All right, Phylion's making the play down here to the Zelda escape area, and then with his castle tower key, he did pick one up, so he is able to check both items in Aga, even though he can't go through and complete the full Aga tower area, but at least he can check both items. So we'll be able to check the final items here in Aga Tower. You'll also get that big key for Tower of Hera. Hopefully he heads that direction before going over to Eastern so that he can get that green pendant and turn it in all at once, but we shall see.
I'm hyped for Aga Tower. It's like one of the funnest dungeons in the game.
It is pretty fun because you kind of have a mix of a lot of everything.
Yeah, it's just in terms of how like the normal game plays out. You start the game, you go through escape, you hear the hype music, you're going through, trying to rescue Zelda, and then it's like come back, and you're like, all right, Adam, all right, put him up, all right, we're here to screw up, gonna rock the tower, save the day.
Yeah.
And then Dark World. But
oh man, I thought I was done.
Yeah, really hype moment. So I always get hype, but then just mechanically speaking, just a very, very fun dungeon. Yeah, that cape is pretty nice, and also a very nice fake flipper.
So can we start calling that guy Harry Potter now, since he has a cape of invisibility?
I never saw Harry Potter.
Oh.
But don't worry, I spilled everything on the Wikipedia.
Oh, that's good.
So we in there.
All right, finally I'm making the play up here to the 2 chests available in Agate. We do still need 1 final key to finish it up, but we can at least see what the items inside are.
Could use some dungeon stats and finally. Could use the medallion, but it would be better on magic, and of course having the master sword. Just could use the dungeon strat there. Did have bow, so could have done bow strat there, but no, it's still good. It's fun to see too. Just clink, clink, clink. Check your Twitter. Wait a second, and then link out. Yeah, Andy is the only one that can hover. Forget those other 112.
Alright, so fylion is making the play up to Tower of Hera, so that is good to see before heading over to Eastern, so we can pick up that green pendant. And Elm is dashing over here to Pod, so we may be seeing what that green pendant turn in will become shortly.
That'll be pretty exciting. Oh, this game is beautiful. Then go down, walk down, mirror. Yeah!
Alright, let's see what's at Sahasrah's closet and what our green pendant turns in.
Sarsaparilla, give us the temper!
The final sword. So now they don't have to worry about getting the... oh, Thieves' Town big key too. Getting that other sword from Zora Ledge, so flippers are out of logic for the swords. They're not going to check that.
Thieves' Key, Big Town. Let's go.
Yeah, it's definitely with the hammer and a small key, you can fully clear that.
I cancel dashboard. Yeah, again, big thing with the boots is you want to maximize the distance that you're dashing. Moving diagonal to get to your location would be slower than trying to do cardinal and do a boot move. It's not quite the edge, but yeah, he kind of doubles up. He does the sword spin and then he does the I guess more classic kind of bomb jump where you're bonking against the wall and you increase the pixel tolerance from 2 pixels to 6 pixels.
Oh, and the big key for Eastern in the first chest of Pod. That's really nice to find so that you can complete both dungeons back.
Yeah, I want to play the Seed. It's a good one. And then every time I'm like, oh, this is so fun, I'm gonna play it. And then I get a Seed. I'm just like, this is so rude.
Everything's so rude.
Yeah. But yeah, I just really like Fylin's use of bomb strats there, where he kind of doubles up on the 2 of them. It's a very intelligent thing to do.
Yeah.
Oh, no!
I can't breathe.
What are you doing to me?
We did it.
Thank you. Yeah, so very good well-known fight from Fylin that gets his green pendant, can get his sword when he goes through there. No, I definitely didn't. I think.
Alright, so Elm did find Ether. That is our Misery Mire access and the final medallion that we need. So really good to see that. Alright, and we're going to find out what Turtle Rock requires too.
Be a bummer if it was Ether.
Ooh. Bombos.
Bombos.
So it's just a tad bit unfortunate that Fylion hadn't checked Paradox Cave to get his Samaria before coming in here to open up Turtle Rock, but mirror in hand, still be able to come back fairly. But we will read the hint tile.
Yeah, I really do like it. Open out the dungeon, at least get the hint tile. It doesn't look like he wants to get to strung along at all. You do have quite a bit of a strong key requirement in TR, but you could definitely sneak a lot of time if you end up going on a wild goose chase of sorts.
Yeah, and with only one small key, you could kind of progress a little bit. If you end up finding additional small keys, that's not.
I feel like in TR, it's pretty common to do that, but still somewhat early on. But I don't know, like every time I'm like, TR, need a key. I don't know, just it's like finding the ice rod in TR. TR just likes to carry something. Little bit of personal bias maybe, but that's a very good helmet fight.
Oh,
Finally,
no.
quickly realizing his error.
Really nice Helmstar King there by Elminster. Picks up a piece of heart. I think that Elminster still does have the back of pod to check.
Yeah, see, like, not sure if farming hurts. You did get full and then unfortunately you fell, but okay. Got his additional leg. Away we go. And yeah, the hook shot was on floating island there, so no flippers, but do you have the mirror?
Yep. So maybe he'll get Samaria from Paradox Cave and then head back to check out Turtle. We'll see.
And here we have Eastern. So it's available really early on, but with all the goodies the seed showered her just with, did not have as necessary of a need to come here, but what awaits us? Some money.
I did just realize that we haven't had like any rupees show up. No 300 packs, no 100 packs. We're all like super low on rupees. No Zora logic.
Good. But yeah, it is true. 500 for a Zora. They won't care about the sword on the ledge. And yeah, all the hint tells are telling them about the cash, so I can go start looking for it here, but
oh, finally takes a fall there in Paradox.
yeah, a good so obviously can do like a sword spinning kind of trick here, but okay, yeah, that was good. You want to set up your Y coordinate first and then your X coordinate. If you do that, the game will create a little bit of a barrier when you get to the end, so it'll facilitate for a much more successful bomb jump. Of course, you can do it the reverse, but you won't get the barrier. And more often than not, you're probably going to do a much slower bomb jump unless you just like nail the precision input, which isn't too bad, but if you ever fall, it wouldn't be worth it.
All right, and Elm finishes up with the last chest in Eastern and heads back to Armos as fylion does dip into Turtle Rock after picking up the Somar.
Oh yeah, that's right, Agent Samaria. Does that make sense? I mean, just opening it and getting the tile alone is, you know, pretty decent, but it's a very good point.
Oh, this dungeon? Ah.
It's a good key to find. How many poppies do we have currently?
I think 2.
Oh.
Now 3 for 5.
I believe 4 is the minimum that you need. If I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Here fights the Hokuboku. That's something that I never actually looked into that I was meant to. How the ice rod interacts with the Hokuboku. Because of course, use the fire rod, you just melt it, but that's not the case with the Pokey enemy.
Ooh, big key to Misery Mire and our first crystal there from... Oh, second crystal, I guess, for Elminster off of Palace of Darkness. Oh no, that's Armos. That's...
Yeah, Armos Darkness. Palace of East.
Yes.
Yeah, and we go again. Yeah, both their timers are lovely.
Best color timers.
Mm-hmm. So fylion sitting for quick dash out, and then mirrors. But I do that too. I always do that regardless. Left those pots in that way so you can dash out quicker, but as the mirror so warps. Oh, I do have a book, but old dungeons, so that's still not quite here. And yeah, we're actually going a little bit of a decent time without the fire rod here. So not a lot of even like skull width isn't really a thing. No pestle, but I can finish these two now, I believe, right?
Yes. Yeah, you got the big key.
Yeah, it can be, especially if you're not playing, it can be really hard to keep track of all the keys and whatnot in their respective location. Still kind of waking up here, so I'm like looking at the HUD and like, okay, what are those fancy icons? What are the keys here?
Yeah.
I'm trying to squint and like wear my glasses. So fylion Alamola, and yeah, so you pull out a sword, so get the sword charge. It's only master. Missed ice rod shot or two. It is pretty tricky. But I think Elm have 3 cycle, so as long as he's able to clean up approximately. Oh, okay. Kind of seem like he has 2 there. Maybe that's the kind of thing like, should I charge my sword or should I slash? And by the time like it happens, it's like, oh, it's go time. I'm supposed to attack the enemy. So having a little bit of a hiccup here with my Mola, but it seems to happen. Yeah, I've done this speedrun. I'm just like, wait, what do I do? My brain kind of stops and I just don't fire the arrow. And then I fire the arrow after. And I'm waiting for the arrow to like come back. I'm like, no.
It's always kind of like when you shoot, if you miss, then you have to wait for the arrow to travel all the way across the room just to hit the wall so that then you could fire it.
Yeah, big strategy is, especially in that fight, just making sure that you don't miss an arrow shot, even if you are a little bit more hesitant on taking a shot. I'm getting the Hera key there. Did we? I don't know if there's another enemy in Hera.
Well, it's key sanity, so it could be anything. Because the maps and everything are all...
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's okay.
So yeah, totally something in the basement with a Hera, or don't, because you got your fire rod.
Yeah, these downloads, fire rod.
No, it still means Titan's Net. No, it's not on Death Mountain, but when he goes, he'll just have everything.
Yep. He may end up thinking Basement of Hera, having gotten that small key, maybe that's where Titan's Mitts are.
Yeah, I mean, just like there's so much that you need to do in all dungeons makes things pretty straightforward in terms of just simply clearing clearing things out. But yeah, he's gonna start whittling down his options here.
And Look Waffles, our tracker, just let me know that there was a tile hint earlier that said Hera Basement was just cache, so...
Okay, thank you.
I'm not sure if that may have been... Oh no, Kiki!
That's unfortunate. It if you lose Kiki, yeah, lose your money there, but... Oh, yeah, just going back again pretty quickly.
Yeah, so it could have been fylion that saw that Basement Hera hint, and Elm doesn't know, and we end up still heading up that way. But if Thieves Town is the red pendant, then that finishes off all of our pendant dungeons. We know where they all are. And Elm has finished them all, so with Fire Rod in hand, he can head back, finish up Skull Woods, and pull pendant. Or the...
Yeah, dashing there in Skullwoods, because to go over the pit, you can actually just tap up. Even if you're dashing up, you can just tap up and you'll stop your dash. And then you can buffer your next dash to go through those bushes and go through them. Like just so you're not kind of shimming or accidentally picking up a bush or anything. It's a neat little speed tech that you can do. Yeah, Skullwoods, just a really, really fun dungeon. I'm just gonna check the first time here. Oh, I still need those flippers. Because you know that the flippers, or the hookshot, are behind the flippers on the floating island.
That is not the flippers, Skull Woods.
Nope. Jen's game. Pun Oko. Or whatever rage emote of your choosing.
Does a really good job there in that Gibdos torch.
Just not needing the good dose monkey. Enters from the top, which is very good. If you enter from the top, you'll get into the fight faster with Mafia. I was like went in from the bottom, but actually it's better in like every way to go from the top.
Very nice Mothula fight.
That's the fylion also here finding out about the Hera Basement.
Alright, switching to Mirror. I would just pull it at this point.
Yeah. Ooh. Don't be a weenie. Just pull it. Just do it. We got the flipper. Oh.
Small key to Misery Mire. Womp womp.
Womp womp. But the flippers be in Misery Mire.
It's true. They can be.
So technically, if the flippers are in Mire, that would have meant they still weren't on the pedestal.
So Elm is making the play up here to the Hera area. He could just be taking this as a way to check the basement and stuff and move on, but we'll see if he goes into Spike Cave. Oh. Oh.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
He definitely did all the bulk and good check locations. So we'll be happy to get estimates here. Almost fight for fylion strategies. Okay, so it's kind of like an Ice Armos variant.
Very nicely done.
Some of the boss fights are kind of a little bit more scripted in how you do them. It's kind of like varying strategies that you can opt between. That might be a handful of frames different, although some of them can be a little bit more substantial. But Armos, always fun to kind of see the strategies that players use, and a lot of them are basically homogenous in their application, in their time saved.
So Elm, with the big key of Misery Mire in hand, the Ether Medallion from Pod, and Somaria, I believe that puts Misery Mire in full completion with the keys that he's got. Because there are a couple guaranteed keys within the dungeon.
Oh, he's doing the shoot arrow strat. Okay, cool. Yeah. Just
Nice.
appreciating Fylion's gameplay here. Canceling Stairleg, shooting the arrow. Even if that one bar isn't electrified, the next one could be. So it's just a really nice buffer to do. Ooh. Yeah, back in town now with all the power. Gonna flip this rock like a table. Easy peasy. Into the dark world. Not into the dark world. Into the tree.
Yes.
Oh, I don't think you said attack.
Fylion using that bonk to get up to that chest, I believe, is saving a big key by not going, or a small key by not going through the main front door of Pod.
Yeah, it's definitely good. Just the layout of Pod is very interesting. 6 keys the full clear normally, but you can get away with 4 if you make creative use of hammering on and circumventing the aforementioned door. Oh yeah, a little bit trouble with the popo there, but otherwise a good Mire tea. Yeah, fog containing key to some dungeon. So it's like a nice feeling if you go to a dungeon a little bit early and you're like, okay, it's a little bit of a gamble, but we'll see. And then it's like, oh hey, I got rewarded. I can now do the dungeon even more than initially intended.
A mushroom.
Mushroom. Might that be our fabled flippers?
Could be. Alright, so we got a Misery Mire small key in the big chest of Pod. One last chest that I don't believe Elm didn't make it to the back of Pod here. Another small key to Castle Tower. Aga is now fully. That does also open up one more hint tile that is available in Aga Tower. A unique item is in the Lost Woods, yeah, like boot.
So Elm never got to the back either?
No. Elm didn't go through the back of Pod. He just went straight for Helmut.
Okay, that's interesting. Because now he went in, got the Eastern key, and then ended up going back in after.
Alright, so we are still looking for the Turtle Rock Big Key in Misery Mine. One of our hint tiles let us know that it was there. If it's not this chest, then it must be on Vitreous. Oh, and the Desert Palace small key. That's almost as good as getting the Eastern Palace big key in.
It's definitely very convenient. This has been a really nice scene.
Yeah, why can't I ever get key sanity scenes like this?
Right? And there's their tier big key, of course.
So that's like a Turtle Rock God Mire instead of like Misery Mire God. So you get the key right there.
Yeah, and then from there you could just hover across if you're able to do it, and have console, because hovering on emulator is really. No, it's a statue today, but Fylion did have some Maria, so having fun with the statue. But again, with so much to keep on your mind, it can be almost impossible to do everything correctly, or even largely correctly. Yeah, unfortunately, the duck did not set the variable, or at least the variable he needed for the Myrod entanglement or spooky action. It's about 12-14 second time save. I forget which exactly. I think it's closer to 12. But it's
certainly too spooky for me.
Too spooky. I'm still recovering from October. It's too soon.
All right, Elminster, full magic bar, cape in hand, tempered sword. We're gonna probably see some dash strats here.
Oh, yeah.
And just sword slashes.
Just taking it to lure help. It would make it a little sketchier. And Fylion, being a hero, love to see it try to go for a key dash there. It's one of the hardest key dashes to go for, because you pretty much have to eyeball it. You would have to have beforehand figured out the pixel lineup to do it, and then on the spot go for it and recognize whether you got it or not. So I'm not sure if you study that. Seeing the other stats he's done, it wouldn't surprise me. But hard to say it, though I appreciate him going for it regardless.
Yep. All right, picking up the Thiefstown big key, I believe they're from Helmasaur. Is that where that was? I don't remember.
I don't either. Yes, sounds good to me. Indubitably. Yeah, we'll have the Desert Palace here. Just mucho convenient. And it's finally Moose's Boon too there as well. Bad RNG for Elm, but it's okay.
Alright, small key for Turtle Rock. Ha, no bird toss. Bad memes are bad.
I always like to just bring the birdie into dungeon, because I'm like, oh, it's so cold, I froze him.
Yeah, bring him inside to get warm.
Also saves the menu. that Popo. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I wonder how Walrus Prime feels about all the the bird toss memes that people have been trying to run amok with here. Well, it's fun to see some different stuff kind of come out in the rando.
Alright, finally I'm about to get his mushroom. Elm looking to head over to Dark World, check out Super Bunny Cave, pop into Turtle Rock, and I think he's got a couple extra, like one extra key, so he may be able to go past the Chain Chomp's room that Fylion kind of got blocked at. As well as having Fire Rod, we can check the right side and those 2 additional chests.
Yeah, with the fire rod, there's a much larger draw. It's still kind of a sticky situation for the completion of Turtle Rock, but it's kind of like you're here, and yeah, you'll do these other checks, and still really need those flippers.
Yep. So fylion got the mushroom in the compass room, I believe, but he remembered the hint on saying that the left side of Mr. Meyer had a unique item and some cash, so he did not go to the longest cutscene room in the, which is a nice time save.
Definitely. Just very good awareness. Yeah, and so of course, do have the mushroom, can cash it in, and we do also have the option of the meme check.
Fake powder?
Yeah. it's like, yeah, just in this kind of scenario where things are drawing up more, it's starting to look better, but I mean. Oh, we'll see. Oh, it looked like Elm actually got to the lineup there, but then cancelled it for fear of bonking, but. Yeah, coming out that door, you can offset your position by a pixel, and it will facilitate for you to just dash straight down out the door, which is very nice speed tech.
All right, so 2 items here that Elm's going to be taking a look at that fylion wasn't able to check, and having the remembering to go to the bottom instead of the top.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to make a mention on that. It's easy to get complacent, but just very good that you remembered. And
no hook shot, so.
Yeah. Which makes this room a lot less fun because the hook strategies in here are really nice. And yeah, looks like you want to save the magic for the way out, which is very, very smart.
Well, actually, because it's hard logic, he tried to use the Burna-Cane to go invisible, but the damage doesn't, like I guess it's Burna that doesn't do the invisibility damage on hard.
Yeah, it's kind of like because the Burna is also offensive. It's not politically correct, right? So, but
yeah.
But the magic cape makes you invisible and vulnerable. So, but it's kind of funny because that greatly nerfs the King of Burna. The King of Burna will not allow you to charge your sword while you have the spinning going around. It will cause additional lag because you are adding sprites to the screen, and its activation cost for magic is 16 magic, and then it also depletes. I forget how much every 4 frames, I believe, but just the initiation of it's more expensive, but over the long term you would save magic. And so it's kind of wondering, like, okay, so he forfeited some of the initiation magic costs and he might dash out, but yeah, hard logic just did not have that option whatsoever.
Yeah, and just as we were going over that, talking about the Burna and cape stuff, Elm actually found a vanilla Turtle Rock small key, so that gets him all 4 keys needed to finish.
See? Late. Oh my god.
But that wasn't the fire rod.
That, or it's late. Okay. Okay. Key and Turtle Rock. I play way too much Kisani. Oh no, Kisani is fun too. Like in a weird way. It's like the Stockholm syndrome way, like you just get punished, but then like it's fun under your flippers. Everything's really good.
So at this point, we know where Hookshot is. I think fylion he's going to Thieves Town. Maybe he'll think about doing fake powder too. But Hookshot and then a bunch of keys is pretty much all we're looking for, I think, right now. Alright, so we're coming up to Mimic Cave. He's not gonna check Mimic Cave. Oh, no. Alright, fylion. Ooh, just about gets that, but the fire snake blocking his way.
Yeah, yeah, even if you get the right pixel, the RNG in that room can get you. Typically the gibbos, although in Rando there might be some differing patterns there, and of course also the timing. So yeah, just the fire snake going away. But it was a nice attempt to do, and it looked like he got the correction, which is impressive to adjust to. And yeah, for anyone that may not know, if you dash from the doorway, you will be on the tile, the right grid location, so that you will end up getting the right pixel to actually through. But it's still dependent on the Gibbo RNG in that all. And it's kind of the same idea where, like in GT, if you don't move when you're dashing up after your Clement Tower, you'll do. But if you move, then it will be a little bit more up in the air. Just slowly collecting Zora money. But yeah, with them, when it's on the ledge, it's like that one off for Zora, just not as appealing. And then I did the boot dash to get the waterfall caves, so.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that really we could seriously want from Zora at this point would probably be something like Silvers or Magic Powder. But Magic Powder only turns your anti-fairies into hearts in hard logic, so it doesn't have the same draw or appeal that it would normally have in like normal. Alright, fylion with the fire rod. Pick up. I'm gonna check the big chest. Probably on his way up. Oh, no, he already.
And I'm gonna take a death here to refill some health. Yeah, fylion be happy on that fire rod. And yeah, with the mushroom, they could do fake powder. So you can deduce, you could just assume that Zora has powder, and then do fake powder, and then cash in the mushroom, worst comes to worst. But considering we have our items here, just make sure you don't get that hook shot. But for Elm, he will need that other castle tower to get key, I believe. So
he hasn't gotten any of them yet.
Yeah, that's a bit of a issue at the moment. Has made a lot of ground chatter, so yeah, it'll be fun to see how these two start to converge a bit more. Or then back to our stats too.
Yeah, that was a really excellent try next.
And then for this last part, it can be a little bit tricky. You overall want to be close to the head to get the double, but it also depends on where Tronix is in terms of location. So yeah, got the nice double there, and very good. That's very good Tronix.
Yeah,
couldn't really ask for more at all.
Small key to Ganon's Tower. Still looking for that Swamp Palace small key. But I think everything else, we've pretty much got all of the keys that we really need.
Zora will hold a small key.
Yes.
Access to swamp.
What if it's a vanilla swamp small key, though?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. In that room, a lot of people are scared of that spike trap. But if you dash out the door, you'll never hit the spike trap. Although some people will tap down.
Where fylion was?
Yeah, some people will tap down, and I mean that might be to cancel a dash, but you can just dash straight across. And if you want, just time it and tap up, and because it's not just the one tile. You do have like a tile and a half there, but yeah, you don't have to avoid or shift your movement at all.
Oh, fylion getting a really good Gibdo room there in the hall.
Another quick thing too is that if you need the fire rod, you can do a pause buffer there to switch to your fire rod at that moment, or you can save it for when leaving. And there are the ropas. The ropas will do a short or a large hop, and depending on which hop they do, you can use the pause buffer to figure out how you want to maneuver around them. That's a good moth.
Yeah, great moth by both of our runners. Elm picked up his hook shot and is heading into this place. Ice Palace.
Canada Palace. Ice Palace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, finding the hint that he can finish the town if he goes and gets the key. Okay, so you got it. So the hint won't do too much for him here, but.
Yep, I'm finally on grabbing this last chest under the bridge. Piece of heart.
Nice. Yeah, it's a nice magic shot. Elle missed one of the shots in the freezers. And I don't believe they have a green potion. They have a red potion, but not a green potion. So, especially considering that the prize packs are shoveled, have to be a little careful on magic, but more than fine now. And now that as I mentioned, I recall that they do in fact have bombos. So, yeah, magic wasn't too much of a concern, but it is always nice to have extra because maybe use the cape damage mitigation. So in hard mode, it does have a stronger requirement, but. Fylion getting his master key. Is that how it goes?
And chat actually reminding me that Elminster did do the waterfall fairy with the water walking boots. So he does have one key for Castle Towers.
Okay, yeah. I was pretty sure he had checked it, but I couldn't remember where the key was exactly.
Yeah.
But shouts to chat. Hold it down, having the information.
And
coming together.
Mushroom is just 20 rupees.
Wah. Yeah, it means strat looking a little bit more appealing. Get your swamp key.
Right, so I think with Fire Rod in hand, Fylion is heading up to finish up Turtle Rock, which is pretty much what he has left to do right now anyways, but that will get him his flippers.
Flippy floppies. Wonder, I was never sure, so, well, not never sure, but I think if you hammer the top 2 pegs there, it's a little bit quicker when you're dashing through that room, but I'm not entirely sure. That's one of those things where, like, when you look at it, it makes sense like that, but in terms of actually testing time, it can be hard to know for sure. Because I know some people hammer the bomb pegs, and I cannot always hammer the top because you pull the switch and then you end up at the top anyway.
Yeah, I thought most people did the top pegs because that stops the bunny beam from, it'll run into that bottom peg on the left side instead of possibly squeaking through and ending up.
Okay, so yeah, there could be a few reasons for doing.
But that's just my thought.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's I didn't even think of that as a potential, so it's really good. It's so fun. And in Lonely Firebar there, so of course there's a few ways you can get through that room, but having the hook shot, you're able to clip into the stairwell, so just very good use of the hook shot there. Oh, did Fylion
You did.
Do it? Aww.
The long way.
Yeah.
The wrong way first, not the...
That's okay. If you remember it 9 times in a row, and then, he's just filling the quota. This is filling the... paying his dues. He's good for a year. Oh yeah, I thought the hook shot this room was gross. The one Fylion's in. Some arrows and a compass. Ooh! Go get those! Those says swamp burn.
You gotta have the compass, right?
Yeah. Also, you're gonna know how many Ganon Tower keys, Ganon Tower potentials are missing. Not keys, but you know. it's in the uncommon room. Let's see. See farm for magic?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like magic. This just really wants to be full top for the boss, because he does have bombos.
Yes.
Most our trackers are aligned to us, but our trackers are incredible. So
well, bombos was super early.
Yeah, it was the
blind hut?
The blind hut, yeah. I think it was the very back blind hut.
I thought it was the one of the right 2 chests in the bottom.
Oh yeah, it was, because that was the end. That was the party platter to finish off getting all the hype in the other 2. And then there was one that I didn't remember. I think it was the Suki. It's much less boring than Mirror and the other item I'm forgetting. Oh, there we go. That is our Swamp Palace access to glue. That was small,
wow.
Not big. Was small?
Yeah, we had the big key a while ago.
Thank you. I'm so happy you're here to like help me. need that morning coffee, my morning bagel. Oh, I think Fylion could have bonked against the wall there. He would have cleared the bone. So it's fun because, of course, it depends on the Hokoboku room before, but if you beat the Hokobokus at a certain time, you can actually, like, the roller pin will be in a different spot, right? So you can do a very more stylish bonk strat against the wall there to clear the pin. I'm not advocating people like go out and really study that. There are way better things to learn, but I'm just pointing out for fun. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to swamp here. Hopefully it gets the quick warp entering. Oh, and the small shield. This is a spot where the small shield would give you a time save. There are a few locations that the shield will give a time save. Otherwise, it will add some leg frames. So you will see. That's a nice green potion to get at 1 hour 22 minutes here.
Fylion is skipping Laser Bridge.
That's interesting. Well, is he still? He never did ice. He doesn't have a small smoky.
I mean, if he decides that that's really his play, then that's a huge play for him to not be checking that. But that's also 4 chests. It's a big.
Yeah, maybe there is a hint.
I don't think I've ever seen a hint for Laser Bridge. Oh no!
Got a hint for you. That hurts. Oh.
Yeah.
And then, oh my goodness, that what? That was insane. What is going on? That. Oh my goodness! You're gonna wish you went to Laser Bridge now. Like,
yeah.
I mean, so when you play around a lot, like you might just assume, right? You go through the motions. So there could have been that, but then of course there was the safety door that could have been had potentially. So
he didn't. Yeah, not even like the big chest Laser Bridge safety doors.
Yeah, he gambled Mimic. And
he didn't do either. Not even the TR big chest, Mimic Cave. Yeah, well, I mean, he knows where Hookshot is. He got flippers, so he may be thinking go mode, but still there's that Swamp Palace small key that he doesn't know where is.
Yeah,
we do, but
yeah, that's all. But he got the best hookbook pattern.
Thanks.
I appreciate that he went back for the bomb, or at least intended to. But yeah, I guess that's really all it could be. Is he thinks he's in go mode, and he, I mean, obviously, it's like, why would you do those if you skip that test too, right? So, yeah, he thinks he's in go mode. Oh, that's a bit of heartbreak.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, that's a massive upside. I mean, those don't hurt him technically, right? Like,
right, of course.
But yeah, so the main thing is the time loss, but that's a lot of mental damage too. When you start to, oh my goodness, your heart just passed. Yeah.
So fylion could be saved by the time save. I mean, at this point, unfortunately, with the death, the saving the time from not going and checking laser bridge and the other chests, probably it's about 6s now. But with Elms still missing that one castle tower key, that could make up the difference.
Yeah, this has actually been a really, really fascinating race because the sea itself facilitated for a lot of options. So there was divergence all the way throughout, and then the reconvergence at the end here was also really speculative and up in the air because of the isolated locations, particularly the castle tower key. And now Valiant takes death, but he thinks he's okay, so he's skipping a lot of chests, and it won't burn him here, but. Oh, and then, but Coldster has the swamp key, so he just goes to the boss, and
so that's why I'm saying he's gonna get saved because he still has to do Ice Palace anyways, which will get him that small swamp palace.
Yeah, this is really weird. Like I'm trying to, I don't know, but okay. Either way, got a little bit of sinkage here, kind of.
Crystal collection, high five.
Yeah, and it even matches the decor, so that's always nice to see. Just the brown crystal in the brown dungeon, and the crystal in the blue dungeon.
Right, so Elm has Castle Tower, Aga 1, Aga 2, and Ganon.
Oh no. Yeah. Okay, so finally remember. Oh my goodness, it feels so bad.
He is going back.
He should have just said it.
Stick with your gut, man. Stick with your gut.
It's like he's on the mountain, so should just that. I mean, that's a lot of chess, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's 6. Yeah, that's a lot.
If it was normal, I would say gamble it absolutely. In this, like Ice Palace. Normally has 3 items, but it doesn't have a lot of chests. This one has a lot of chests. It's not just items. That's a huge hit. Yeah. I mean, we still have to wait for but just yeah, you just see this kind of thing happen. Keeping composure though, like, and really important, or maybe not so important, but interesting is to watch how the player plays when they make an error like this. Their movement, the way they go about, it can be really indicative of their mental state. So, you know what? Maybe it's feeling okay. Knows that there's a problem, but gets back into dungeon. Not too bad. Bit of a time hit, bit of a death, but you know, just brush off your shoulder. Keep going. Don't ever assume that you're out of the game or anything. It's heartbreaking, but as you know, anything can happen. Just, you know, don't give up on yourself at all.
Oh, Elm's doing all of the Smith sequence because he hasn't done that
yet. Yeah. Like there's still a lot of race left, really.
Right.
He's done all the dungeons, but
he did turn in the mushroom, but reset, so he's gonna check fake powder as well.
Yeah, I do. In this scenario, I do like fake powder. He's gonna partition the frog. The game retains the pegs that you hit, so you actually could hit like half of them or whichever, and then mirror. Do the Smith, go back to the Dark World, and then just hammer a few. I remember way back when Jay Coper was a big fan of that strat, and I think he would take like every opportunity to kind of showcase it.
But I think they fixed that because I've tried it recently and it doesn't work.
Did they? That's so
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
This version sucks. Are you for real?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Because
I would just do like the top 2 rows, turn in the Smith, and then do the top 2 rows again. But it didn't open the thing.
Carcat. My dudes, what are you doing? Vitor. Everyone. Oh, so many people work on this game. It's so fun. Thank you, Evan. Like angst aside. Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm assuming that as soon as he sees those small keys, he's like, yes, I got the small key to swap. Nope. Yes. Oh, just a disappointment.
Yeah, it does a couple of happy splashes on his way out. And he does have a safety door now, so if you're to go to Trinex and do the fight.
Yeah. Anyways, probably on his way to pick up his hookshot.
Yeah, no. He's yeah?
I think that's where he was intending to
Yeah.
go, but then went
Yeah.
to.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so
Oh,
I'm just gonna check to see if potentially it's a vanilla Castle Tower key, which we know it's not.
Yeah. Which makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, well, TR can have its own key, so I can't Castle Tower. But you forget, my dear, that is Turtle Rock, and Turtle Rock does Turtle Rock things.
Yeah, Turtle Rock has a mind of its own. Castle Tower does not.
Yeah, indeed, getting the hook shot here. And yeah, it's like it was a tricky situation because there's so many chests. But he's right there, Turtle Rock. Not too bad to get back into. It's just I think it's more so the feeling of the compounding of the death and then having to go like it's like a triple dip for Turtle Rock and oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is the grossest feeling. I do feel that he made the right decision. This is unfortunate.
Oh, where is he going now though?
I think he's gonna check Hobro and
Hobro, huh?
and yeah man. He's just chilling and he gives you an item. And he's like, what's up my dude? And no questions asked, here you go.
Yeah, just have some free stuff.
Yep. People are so mean. He's like generous and like gives you something. Like
yeah, I like to call him the guy under the bridge.
He does not agree with the socioeconomic standards of Kakariko, and maybe he just wants to get a little escape from reality here. Who knows, right?
Is this considered tax evasion? Because then, is he paying taxes for the?
Well, he's still a citizen, but he might not like the customs of the townsfolk.
Oh, true.
And put like wanted signs, and there might be a lot of paranoia, and you know they're under you know monarch rule, so.
Yep. Well,
especially because they've been circumvented, so there might be some tensions there. Or
Elm
maybe...
is making the play here. So.
Sorry,
it's okay.
I think it's a good key dash here.
And he's just
do the hammer. Yep. Do it. I mean, he's gonna try these first, of course. Probably just not even bot. Ew. Oh no, it's not count anymore. Oh. I got the nice bonk here. So this bonk here, when I first started the game, I thought this was just like a swaggy thing runners do. But if you bonk against the wall and get caught in the cutscene, just normally bonking won't work. If you get caught, bonk against the wall and get caught in the cutscene, you will be perfectly set up for a quick warp. So good quick warp by fylion.
Alright, Phylion's gonna get us a Zora.
I'm really surprised it hasn't gone to his palace.
Yeah, I was really hoping after picking up the hookshot he would have gone straight there, but...
I mean, like, if this wasn't all dungeons, I mean, there are the two texture catfish and Zora, but, like, you have to do Ice Palace, and a lot of people are really adverse to Swamp and Ice, and I don't think it's really as fair as it could be to the dungeon, but, I mean, there's different strategies too, but... Yeah, just a little bit more interesting. Maybe he feels that it's the gamble, and so he needs to make the play, which would make sense. Like I could see him doing that for sure. Just like, okay, well, you know, lost substantial time. Elm's a very strong player. I'm gonna take a little bit of a detour here before Ice, and it does lead into it, so it is good routing. Like it's not bad whatsoever.
Oh, and Elm officially in go mode at 134.12, I believe.
Although, is he going to GT?
Yeah, so most people will do Ganon's Tower, finish Aga,
that's smart.
then go into Castle Tower, finish Aga, drop down to Ganon.
Awesome. It's like some Link to the Past Super Metroid kind of logic.
Exactly.
And I definitely recommend that to everyone. It's a very fun crossover. Don't get intimidated if you're not very strong at Super Metroid. It's all very fun, and yeah, I don't know, just beautiful.
Are you going to enter into the 1v1 tournament for Super Metroid Elite Club?
Unfortunately will not. I will come back to Rando and other stuff soon, but I just like, not to get too heavy into it. I just had a lot going on recently, and some health issues and being busy. So I've gotten into streaming and everything again. For now, I'd be interested in doing commentary, keeping up with the crowd, and just practicing, kind of honing the craft in my spare time. But soon TM or soon alt. Was it 0153 for those in chat?
Oh right, this is the ALTTPR randomizers. They don't have that command.
Oh, how that way?
The winter command for speed gaming, since speed gaming's during the 1v1 SMZ3 tournament. $750 cash prize.
Money.
Shoot. Alright, so Elm starting the climb up GT as fylion finishing up soon here in Ice Palace. Will be picking up his Swamp Palace Monkey, and he will also be in Go mode.
Very nice mixed strategy there. Those rooms, even within the speedrun, people consider them kind of be like some of the hardest rooms in the game, just because they're determinative, not RNG. So it's purely skill on the movement of the mimics. So it can be really easy to lose time, and many runner there as well have also gotten caught without arrows in case like a shot gets missed, or it's easy to get frantic and then the damage can stockpile really quickly. But that's really good.
I'm really terrible at that mimic.
It's difficult. It's absolutely difficult. It does require a lot of personal commitment and training. And
yeah, especially with BMOS, like it's awful.
Yeah, like GT is kind of like the final test of the runner. You can gain and lose a lot of time here, but the rooms are so technical and they basically feature every mechanic in the game. So it can be rewarding, but insanely punishing. And even if you're strong, it can be insanely punishing. It's just, I mean, it's called, it's a gauntlet, right? It's it's the final dungeon. You got spikes, conveyors,
final countdown.
Evos. Yeah. That will save a fire shot.
Very
You
nice.
did great. Yeah, you did get a green potion. There are 8 explosions on the final ammo, and you can count them if you want to time the entrance to the door a little bit quicker. He's gonna use his potion, which only feels half. But he will have. Ooh, that would have been a nice counter to get. We'll be able to do some Mario starts for the rooms the cane was made for. Oh, that's time back too.
Oh, besides, Mr. Meyer Turtle Rock.
No.
True.
We'll just glitch those, don't worry. Actually, the bow is really good for those rooms too. There's a couple of categories where you don't have some Mario and you have to use the bow. And it's very impressive to watch as well. Got finally cleaning up here. Almost done. And unfortunately, yeah, just essential time loss, but both runners, very interesting routes and both very strong routes. Like, this is a treat to watch, and again, like, anything can still happen, but is obviously very much Elminster's race to lose here.
Oh, a shovel!
I can go dig up some powder.
Or silver arrows.
Silvers are in hard mode.
Yeah, but you can only actually use the silver arrows on Ganon. So anything like Vitreous, Armos, you can't activate or use.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a smart idea. I used to know a lot of this stuff better, but times change, and of course, the newer logics and moving tweaks. So
Yep.
is few people at home didn't know, and I'm definitely learning myself here.
I think that's definitely one thing that I've really loved about this tournament is kind of like a showcasing a lot of different modes that other people would not normally watch or race.
Yeah, I do like it. For myself, I was a little bit like one reason why I wasn't as personally gender is that I tend to like stuff be more constant. So in premise, it was a really cool idea, but I think it was more cool to watch, and just the kind of thing where I like to kind of race this with friends in a bit of a different, you know, kind of setting. But for a tournament, yeah, I definitely like seeing different modes. I do like seeing the hard difficulty modes, if only because it facilitates different strategies that you don't have as much rupees. Maybe Houlihan is more viable. You know, there is the risk reward between rushing a dungeon with less resources versus the person that's more conservative and might be rewarded for being conservative, you know, or the person that's, you know, just playing a confident skill will be rewarded for taking, you know, more of that risk there. But yeah, fun to see. Just so many great modes, and of course shoutouts to those that worked on them. A lot of work from so many people that went into this game, even those that might not be as well known of a name. Like, you know, just little suggestions, and then, you know, gets carried on then forward. And the hype music. Oh, it's my favorite music in the game.
Yeah, Castle Tower is amazing.
I know most people like Dark World. Obviously, this is great. Dark World would be my second favorite, but this one, this just it's too late. Yeah, so finishing the tower here, and so is that time when I like does he get warped to the Triforce remotely?
Yeah.
Yeah, and finally in swamp here. Oh, tries to get the red skeleton. If he had, that water would have filled faster. There would be less lag on the screen.
Oh yeah, just a split second too late.
It was his way anyway, so you had to go for it. But it would have been very fortuitous.
And I assume we'll probably just see fylion head straight back.
Yeah.
Just gets a fire shield. Yeah. I believe so. I don't think I saw him use that. Yeah. Actually, I don't think he did purple chest, so I don't know if he got the red potion.
That's fair. I mean, he'll be fine. He has the blue mail, and what are you doing? We can't go to the right. It's not right.
Right. Left is right.
It is right, but it's not right. Left is right, but it's not right. It's left. It is funny because it doesn't really matter, but you just see it so often. It's like, what's wrong? It's like waking up with your business clothes and then putting on your like sweatpants to go out in public. Like, this is backwards. It doesn't feel right. Oh yeah, the blue balls. And 3 is average. Get your guessing. Not fun. I mean, we're already underway. Oh, this is so fun. I really miss it. Really miss it.
Very well done. Aga was quick today. It's really nice to do Aga first like that, because as soon as you're done, then you get the full health, full magic. Just drop straight down into the...
Also, I made a bit of an error. So when I mentioned going to Triforce stream late, for whatever reason I thought Curie beat Ganon, and so you beat Ganon and then do like I still had a bit of morning brain. Okay. So Ganon time. Walked in time and cut the teleport short. That's why Ganon was facing towards the screen. Already onto phase 3. making his way up. This is a really... But yeah, it was a good scene too. It was a good time. It was pretty quick. I wasn't sure what to expect when I saw the mode line up. I'm like, oh man, this could go a little while. I mean, there's some comfort in all dungeon anyway, but... Oh, just very well played. Very well everything. Well, I kind of missed it, but after the dialogue, if you release a spin, it'll count as a spin. I think if you release a spin, but like before the text box, it actually won't count as spin. I need to reconfirm that because it's been a long time, but what is ElminsterRTA doing? Sorry.
It's doing timer things.
Yeah, it's great. What is it?
fylion has Hookshot out. He's gonna go by Hookshot Cave. May still be thinking Silvers? Nope, heading straight to Ganon Tower.
Yeah, and that will be it for our friend Ganon here. And our first place winner is Elminster, taking the set and looking very strong within his group. Will finish in first place at the time of 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 18 seconds.
GG's.
GG. So, on stream here, we'll see fine finishing up, but we'll see about them interviews.
Oh, fylion.
Yeah, it's probably...
And we are joined by Elminster. GG's and welcome.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good. I got the Agate Tower at quick work.
Oh, I missed it, but nice. It's even... Yeah. I hadn't thought of that, really. It's pretty interesting. Cool, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah, GG's. That was a really nice seed.
Yeah, it was... it was, pretty free.
It was... Yeah, it was... Well, not even necessarily just free, but actually... It allowed for a lot of creative divergence, and it's almost like... I don't know, it was very fluid, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fluid, definitely. It was really fun to play through, and I don't know, like... I was able to focus on execution a lot more. I think that's the best execution I've had in a rando race in, like...
The early boots.
Like... a long time, let's say.
Yeah, you had some really great fights. Mothula was amazing. It was a really close Lanmolis on those ice rod shots.
That Mothula fight sucked.
Oh, I thought it was good.
No, it wasn't. I missed the double hit, and then I got like stuck in the spikes for a bit.
Well, it's still quick, like in terms of the cleanup, right? Like even if you do get the double, the RNG can be a little hairy, and I mean there are ways to mitigate it, but it takes a lot of expertise. But I mean, in terms of how the fight went and the time loss, it was definitely, you know, still it was okay. But yeah, no, that was a nice seed, and of course, like the early boots, the early items, just facilitate for a lot of and just creativity and different strats. And it is kind of funny because on that just this like a random thing when you're in Turok and you pulled out the Kinburna, it's like I was watching, it's like, oh, okay, cool, it's like deactivate because someone wants to say the magic on like the way back out or something, and it's like, wait, no, a test remind me that you don't have the invuln. So like,
Yeah, I forgot about that.
yeah.
Because like usually I'll use the hookshot going in, and I'll use Burna going out. Because hookshot going in is convenient, but going out is not. That's why you tank the damage in vanilla. But yeah, I'd just forgotten. I mean, I used Burna going in because I didn't have hookshot, so usually when I do that, I'm more okay with mirroring out of the room, which is why I left Compass Room for later.
Yeah, definitely.
I think people in chat have a question for me.
Yeah, just a question about why heading back into pod to do the back chest before going into GT.
Okay, so there are two very good reasons I had for that. One is that when I first went to pod, I didn't have very many small keys, and Dracarys and I have both been burned racing with each other in key sanity in our group by kind of mismanaging pod keys and not going to Helmasaur earlier. So I made a beeline for Helma. I didn't really have enough keys to do a whole lot else after that, so I left 8 chests behind. And I don't think that is a play most people would have made in that situation. So I'm thinking if the other castle tower key is in there, then fylion probably got it a long time ago. So I need to cover that possibility. The other reason is that pod was a pendant, and I had very few keys to begin with. So it stood to reason that most of what I was going to be finding in Ganon's Tower were going to be pod keys, and it was more likely they were going to lead to Castle Tower key in pod.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting situation, and yeah, I mean, again, just the way the seed opened up, you know, your opponent might have done the full check there, just the way it had led, and then if the key was there, like it'd just be the risk mitigation of that, and you know, you could definitely be thrown for a loop if you're trying to spend too much time in GT or the like.
Yeah, the second Castle Tower key is absolutely the scariest item in all dungeons key sanity.
Yeah, so we need to get that hint tile going for that now. And it'll be like a Smogon rules. We'll just go one down the ladder. Like, okay, that Mega Evo is done. Okay, that Mega Evo is done. Okay, that's done. And just boop, boop until we know where everything is, right? Sounds good to me. 1, 2, 3, go.
You have this way of like. You have this way of like rushing into a tangent and then speaking faster and faster when you know that you're saying ridiculous things, and I love it.
First of all, it's not ridiculous. Second of all, back to the race.
No,
so,
I'm done talking about the race. I have nothing else to say.
How rude. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun to see lots of interesting, different, but also shared strategies between you two. And it was kind of funny because a lot of times you two would like ping pong something. One person would do one type of strategy, the other person would do a different, or you do the same strategy and one would fail and one would do it like a little bit better. But it was really good. Like it was a great watch. It was honestly really just in every way, like just entertaining, good seed, and yeah, good showcase from both runners.
That was
like finally, and I kind of want to ask him. I'm not sure if he's going to come in, but it kind of looked like he went for a pod key dash, like leading up to Helmet. I don't know if he YOLO'd it or like if he thought he got the picks or something, but just little things.
Oh, did he get the key dash?
No, he bonked. So that's why I'm like it's a little bit up in the air, and maybe for me it's a bit more of a bigger deal than it would for most. But
sometimes I just forget to cancel the dash when I do it. Sometimes I just forget to cancel the dash when I do it.
Yeah, it could be that too. I mean, again, for me, that's like something I kind of look for. So I like nerd out a little bit, and everyone's like, "What are you talking about?"
I know. Like I was listening to like the last 20 minutes of it, and I was hearing like all sorts of little things that I was like, yeah, I don't know, just really little things that I think most people wouldn't pick up on.
People can make fun of me later. That's okay. answer some in chat. Yeah, Ego-Win's required because this is all dungeons, so it falls in suit with that. And yeah, I'll know. It'd be fun to get Fylion in here. Is there any word on that? I checked, but I haven't seen. I'm gonna check again.
Is he finished on stream yet?
No, he's not finished yet.
Oh,
Okay,
pardon me.
cool.
I'm so sorry. Right. Yeah. Beg pardon.
But he is just about done with Ego-Win, and then should just drop down and finish off Gan.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, first place, right? That makes sense, but I mean, it makes sense for both too. Just it's excited to talk to him. It's talking to friends after. Interview's always good.
Yeah, not like some of those people who just bail on them.
Well, I can definitely respect it. I remember talking to people in the community from years ago, where the idea of interviews and stuff is kind of like a foreign concept. So, like in terms of like culture, like there's a different culture that's kind of grown over the more recent years as changes have gone. So, you know, I can definitely respect it. But I do always appreciate hearing people talk about their race after, you know, and it can be a nervous thing too. It's like, oh, you know, you're in front of a lot of people, but you know, it's such a treat. And you know, for what it's worth, I don't feel people should be too shy, and certainly not ashamed or down themselves to join. But yeah, no, to each their own, and it'll be fun to see after you finish.
Did you like my 80-minute check of the dam, by the way?
Yeah, to get your
Yes,
green
I
potion.
did. Yeah. It's like, oh, green potion. That's nice. That's
It was
power.
like, it was ridiculous because I went the whole seed without a bottle, and I knew from a hint that there was one in purple chest. So the whole time I was thinking, okay, am I gonna end up having to go get that so I can get whatever's on Sick Kid?
Imagine not getting the purple chest.
I put off South Shore for a while too. I was hoping for like maybe
combo.
a bit more money, maybe go to Zora from there, or but then I actually went there. Funnily enough, I went there because of lack of money, because my next move for a while was going to be Palace of Darkness. Like that was when I found the big key. That was, I want to say it was in like Deepstown, Village of Outcasts area. I wanted to go to Palace of Darkness, but I didn't have the money to get in, so I did South Shore.
Yeah, it's something we kind of talked about before. Just nice to see in the hard difficulties and whatnot, where resources kind of affect the routing decision making. Like it kind of adds that, you know, extra layer, so it can end up going to. Oh, I think that was a cape spin for Fylion. That was really nice. But so some of these have been pretty close, but he seems really comfortable. So.
Oh jeez, you didn't comment on my game fight.
Oh my goodness, I can only comment so much. But
It was really good. It was like the best game fight I've ever
yeah.
done. Okay, fine.
You've only done like 100, 200,000, whatever.
Yeah, I know, and that was the best one.
Every
That's my
time.
point. That's.
It's a very good game.
Thank you.
Fylion will finish in second place here.
Like that
The
last
time
spin
I
was. Okay, whatever.
1 hour, 58 minutes, and 40 seconds. Let's see if okay, yeah, and then he's calling me out. He'll finish. He'll be in when he finishes on stream. Sorry. And welcome, Fylion. GG's.
Well, hello, thank you.
That was really fun to watch.
Yeah, that was a fun seed. That was fast for all dungeons key sanity. Like my time was fast for all dungeons key sanity. Elms was very fast.
Yeah, I mean it's like so obviously it was a good seed. It was really well played. It was fun to see both the strategies and stuff that you all went through. And of course I think probably the biggest thing is obviously, you know, kind of like the Turtle Rock. So not to, you know, poke into that too much, but do you mind sharing kind of what took place there? But I mean, and that was like the big thing, obviously. I would think.
So, I have a feeling I'm just confirming your speculation on this. But what happened was I got the flippers, and I said, great, that's go mode. And partly that was because I could have sworn I actually picked up the swamp key earlier in the seed. So I ran the whole dungeon. And then died to Trinex, of course. And then I finished it, and I said, hang on, I'm not actually in go mode. I better go back in. And interestingly, going back through that third time, I felt like I executed just fine. I was really pleased with my laser skips, which I'm not usually. But I was kind of relieved to learn that the 5 or 6 minutes I spent doing TR twice wasn't what lost me the race. Because that would have hurt a bit, and to know that I kind of got outplayed in other areas makes me feel a bit better.
Yeah, no, but with the exception of the swamp key, that was basically kind of the exact situation. It took a little bit, and it's like, wait, like you skipped laser bridge, you know, it's what's going on?
Skipped laser bridge, big chest, mimic cave,
and yeah, and so it's like, oh, what's going on here? And then the death, and but yeah, no, it's like you said though, like you kept a really strong composure, like going through the dungeon. That I kind of mentioned it in the commentary that you know, after stuff like that, you can kind of get a window into the player's mental state a little bit at times to see how they're kind of moving and going through. And you were just keeping really strong composure, and like as you said, you know, executing fine, doing good laser skips and whatnot, and then of course from a pride or a racer kind of perspective, you look at the time, you're like, okay, well, you know, you kind of do the math, and it's like, you know, if I had gone here, I would have won, or you know, like what kind of difference? But the idea of, you know, the purity of the situation, it's like, okay, well, that might have been a bit more, you know, anomalous. Would that have costed the race? And you know, in this case, no, it was still a very, you know, it was a strong race regardless. But the time probably, you know, it isn't ultimately what would have factored in. I mean, the subsequent decisions might have kind of skewed it, but as the racer, you know that better than anyone else. So,
yeah,
you know, it at the time it can feel like a very gut-wrenching feeling, but of course you just gotta keep playing, go forward, and you know, it sounds like you got a very you know, strong perspective on what took place. So it's very, you know, very nice to see.
Yeah, well, thanks. Yeah, this was interesting. As I kind of heard, just as I finished up, like this was open. This was disturbingly open at the start, and it to the point where I was like 50 minutes into the race, and I had 1 or 2 dungeons cleared, and the whole overworld, because I wasn't diving dungeons because I didn't have big keys. There was one dungeon I did have a big key for that I would have loved to go into, and that was Pod. And I spent like 20 minutes doing random stuff that I knew I had to do at some point, hoping that any rupees would drop, and they just wouldn't. Like I felt starved for cash for most of this run.
Yeah, Kisai can become a head screw in that sense. I always like kind of doing a lot of the major checks, and then the dungeons come after. And of course, as you get the keys, it kind of skews where you go. But yeah, of course, like, hey, I'm about an hour in, and I got like every dungeon left.
It was the moment I got that third pod key that I said, okay, I want to go in. I have 20 rupees, and then I just didn't get more. And like 10 minutes into the wait for rupees, I realized I was dashing through every enemy, which of course never drops rupees if you do that. So maybe I should be careful what I wish for with early boots. I kid about that. Elm and I had boots on Ped in our first race, and I don't want that ever again. I'll take missing rupees due to boots.
That's funny.
I mean, it did clue into the fact that it was already all dungeons by the settings.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Well, but you know, having boots at the end is just kind of less fun.
That was great though. Like I have to say, what was it? Big key, desert big key on the torch, and hint tile next to it said the boots require 3 pendants.
Yeah, well, that was super helpful in game 1. and the reason Elm's file names say all dungeons fylion is because I didn't realize it was all dungeons in our first race. And the boots being on Ped saved me into doing all dungeons. So
I think Ago is required too. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I think Ago is required for Dark World or something.
But, yeah, this was interesting. I did a really dumb thing, or what I thought could have been dumb, which was I came out of Tower of Hera, and I just went straight into Spike Cave.
That's actually what I was gonna comment on.
So, here was my logic. It was, I've got the hammer, so I can do Spike Cave, and I don't have the hammer, so I can't do East Death Mountain.
The difference between that is that Elm did the full escape sequence after picking up the sword from Uncle and got the Tower of Hera key early. So he went through, did Hera and the right side of Death Mountain, while you went, got your Titan Summit, and then checked the Misery Mire area and a couple other places.
Yeah, so I think you kind of keyed into it there. Is it wasn't so much that I didn't think I had the hammer. It was more that I didn't beat Hera, and I'm used to coming out of Hera without beating it and feeling like, okay, I can't beat the dungeon right now, which means I must not have hammer, I guess.
Right.
So that was kind of weird, but it gave me a really early mitts, which was fantastic to have.
Did you realize what you did right after you did it?
No, not until a lot later. But it wasn't like East Death Mountain had a ton of stuff. The big thing. So this is how stuff could have routed differently. If I had made the play to Saha earlier, because I didn't do that till I was doing pod, I would have had the Thieves' Town key. And that would have meant, interestingly, that by the time I finally made it to East Death Mountain, I would have had the flippers. Because I would have been able to get a Turtle Rock key from the right-hand side with Fire Rod, get all the way to the flippers, which would have changed everything about all the routing decisions I ever made in this scene. Flippers were almost last location for me. And so it's funny how those little things, if they just flip, can completely change your approach.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like a butterfly effect of sorts. And yeah, flippers was really the kind of final thing that you guys were looking for. But if you got the time, I would definitely recommend the rewatch. Just, of course, for between you two and the routes, because the routes you both took, like, completely different. Like, and it was really interesting to watch. And so, just the convergence of you two coming back to was really interesting. Didn't get the Titans for a long time, but just because of the nature of the seed, it wasn't too bad. And then you kind of get led back there anyway. But you had the Titans early, and then that led to a whole slew of different options and approaches. And so it was really, really great to watch.
I really did feel like I got them late.
Well, it's not late.
I know, but like I'm saying, like I'm making a point that.
Then funny.
Only late in comparison to me, because I got them way before I should have.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that like that was. I even think like the time I got them was fairly early in terms of like, oh well, progression's kind of dried up on the easy things. What do you do then? Let's do Spike Cave. Spike Cave's not usually the first thing you beeline to, even when you're like pressed into that. Like maybe Pyramid Catfish. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Kisani, it's a little bit different. It's kind of like, you're kind of expecting that you're gonna clear a hefty amount anyway. And all dungeons though kind of throws a bit more wrench into that. But yeah, no, pardon me. When I said late, I wasn't meaning that it was an error or like you postponed it.
Oh no, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that as.
I'm just clarifying.
Okay. Okay. Well, me too.
It's well played. It's well played.
Can I?
You guys.
Sorry.
I was just saying that as like a testament to more the seed than anything else, not the way you were saying it. That's all.
No, for sure. That's very good. Yeah, a great treat to watch. I highly recommend it. again, just to see the divergence.
Well, I was gonna watch it for other reasons, but I guess I have one more.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, GG's again to both of you. This puts you into brackets.
Not quite yet. So I'm 10-5 right now. Because I had an absolute train wreck of a day yesterday. So I'm 10-5, and Zelgadison is what is he? 6-5? No, 6-5. So if he wins his remaining 4 matches, then it comes down to a tiebreaker between us, and I don't remember what the criteria for the tiebreakers are.
Tiebreaker race.
Oh, dude, okay, well, see, I'm screwed if that happens because I always get terrible seeds when I race him, and he's, between the tournament races we've had, over this tournament and last, he's got a 4-1 record on me.
So
And,
what's the requirement for that tiebreaker? Is it randomized again?
The seed is each player gets a veto, and then
Same as
it's-
race 3. Okay.
It's like another game. Okay.
yeah, tiebreaker rules are fresh on my mind because I'm watching Group P with great interest. There's a potential for a 4-way tiebreaker in that group.
It's really exciting.
More likely it'll be a 2 or 3-way tiebreaker if it happens, but you know, stuff could get really interesting there. I've got my eye on it. But you know, I think I've got 3 more races. One is against Zelda, so if I can pull out the win against him finally, that'll save Elminster.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm sure you have great inclination to save me after 3-0ing you.
Well, I don't want to get 3-0'd by someone else, so that's my incentive.
True. I mean, Ellis is kind of upset that I 3-0'd him, so he was rooting for Zelda against me. And actually, what's funny is that Zelda told Ellis that if Ellis wants to stop me from getting into bracket, Ellis should just throw his races.
Yeah, I don't think that is likely to happen. I think I'm very pleased with our group. I think everyone in it has been really cool. Really fairly proactive in scheduling.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And hey, we got the not link this group, so that's always fun to just spam that emote everywhere.
Yeah. It's been chaotic too, because like our group, I've said this before, but I feel like there isn't anyone in it that's like really super exceptional at the game, but everyone in it is fairly strong, fairly solid, and close in skill level to some degree.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
to some degree is, I think, correct.
But yeah, it's for my part, I don't really have too much to say unless you guys want to share something on the scene. And of course, I've spoken more than enough. Of Miss Metroid here has any questions or anything. You know, yeah, I'll know it's a lot of fun. It's kind of deferring to you guys here.
Everything was great. You guys did a very good job. If chat enjoyed the races, make sure you pop over and give our runners.
So, what are you doing later?
And yeah, definitely. Shout outs to our tracker. Just make sure I don't screw up the name here.
Look
Waffles. Yeah, look. Look.
What? Where?
Waffles.
In the house. The Waffle House.
I haven't had waffles in forever. They're good though. But in chat, there's a one. Although that might be part of the joke, like the exclamation
It's
mark.
a
Type that
lowercase
one.
exclamation mark.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're like, oh, it's like they're foreign, so it's that's just exclamation marks like in a different language or something. But yeah, shout out to your tracker. Personally, I really like. I wish we could get to some of the more the names on stream, because it's a lot more than, of course, in terms of the co-coms, just Miss Metroid and I. There's also our lovely restreamer, Michael K, being very proactive, getting them mixed up and everything, and just like I would definitely miss someone if I tried to go through every name, but shoutouts to everyone, and of course definitely give people a follow if you like what they do, and especially co-commentator Miss Metroid here, she's pretty cool, definitely kept me in line a few times.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear this.
I didn't have my breakfast bagel, so she's a little bit more on top of some of the keys and whatnot, so I'm very thankful I had her.
Yeah, and you too, very much, for a lot of the more technical explanations on some of the cool things that are available and the fun things you get to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you both so much for Communist. It's really cool to have.
It was really hype. And like fylion, Elminster, Miss Metroid, like yeah, that's pretty sweet. I'm definitely getting on that.
Yeah, and thank you to Michael K for getting the restream up on ALTTP Randomizer. And for questioning my gameplay decisions.
Yep, shouts to him.
Alright, I'm done. Have a good one, everyone.
And take care.
Bye.